Oh,
I imagine it. What time is it in Hawaii?
6:53, so we were on at 6 o'clock.
Okay, we're glad you jumped up out of bed this morning and joined us on this International Day of Happiness and first day of spring. And so we're delighted to see you.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask that each of you take the chat over here and put in your chat this morning your name, your position, and your district, and put in one sentence, if you will, please, the one thing that you hope to gain as a takeaway from this session. Again, we're asking you to put your name, your district, your position, and one thing that you would like to gain as a takeaway from this session. And we're happy to have this morning as our exhibits A of student initiatives and leadership, Walker Shido, who is from Eugene, Oregon, and Francisco Baquel, who is from Sedona, Arizona. And so I'm going to ask them this morning, if they will, if there's anything that, Walker, would you like to say further about your program? And then we'll give opportunity for questions and answers to you.
Of course. So obviously there'll be probably some questions later on in the meeting. But I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit more in depth about how this program is super easy and super easy to spread and implement into your own club. So our club has put together a grouping of resources, about 6 of them. And this consists of a couple of surveys and a couple of resources for advertising and for staying organized. And what we've done is all of these things are Google Documents. So they're super easy to spread via email and super easy to manage with a group of people if needed. And what a club will do is they receive this kind of little package and they turn it into their own with their club. So it might seem really daunting, a tutoring program. At first for our club, it was really daunting and we didn't quite know what to do, but we have taken that whole situation of the unknown of how do we do this? And we have shown you how to do it. So we've provided all of the resources needed. We've developed the program all the way through to the finish. And it's now super easy to implement. And we have shown a lot of proof in a couple different clubs that it is able to be implemented.
Thank you, Walker. Anybody want to ask a question of Walker? Just unmute yourself and identify whatever question you'd like to ask of Walker about her tutoring program.
I just think it sounds so cool. I can't wait to hear how you implement it. Thank you so much for sharing. This is great.
What is the main subject that you're tutoring for these kids? What is, yeah.
So we do a wide range of subjects. I'd say one of the most popular we have found is math. But at our own school, we offer math, social studies, reading, writing, science. Our own club, we offer Spanish and French since we have advanced levels of those in our high school. So it's really what the club itself wants to offer. So your club could only focus on one subject if they want to, or they could do a wide range of subjects. So yeah, it's really what your club is able to offer, and hopefully that is a wide range.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Okay, Walker, you had mentioned to me that you actually have doubled the size of your Interact Club with people who have been eager to be a part of this. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So at the start of the pandemic, our club, I'm a part of our club's leadership board, and we were really, really nervous about club membership, as I'm sure most of you guys probably were and still are and have likely experienced. So luckily through this program, we have been able to double our club membership due to the fact that a lot of people want to be tutors, but a requirement we have is that you're a part of the club in order to be a tutor. So we have a lot of people who will join the club, become a tutor, and then through that, they'll become, active in the club as well. We do have some who are just tutors in the club, and that's totally fine, but we have found a lot of engagement once they come to a club meeting, see what we're all about, and they get really excited about the world of service.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else questions for Walker here?
Sorry, I just want to know, do you guys go into the school or do the lower grades come to you? Because you're tutoring the lower grades, right?
So our whole school district is completely online. We've been online since March. All of these sessions are actually done via video conferencing is what we call it. So our school is mostly through Zoom, but it's whatever platform you have preference on, but it is completely virtual. We are never face-to-face for the safety of both tutor and student, whether it be COVID or just the in-person aspect safety as well.
Can you
Yes.
tell us how you advertised with the elementary schools? We have a pretty unified school district, but or like maybe could you share like maybe your email template or like what you used for a script?
Of course, of course. I actually have a small presentation art, if I'm going to go
Go
ahead and
right
share
ahead,
that,
Walker.
that will talk about all the resources we use to do anything in the program, and that is included in it as well. So let me get this shared.
Be prepared to be wild. This is great.
So this is our little program main page here. I have my contact information there as well, which will be in the chat later on. But first, I want to take us to the tutor side of things. So this is what a new tutor will see. It's just a simple Google form survey, and it asks for some basic information that you see on the side there, their contact information, parent permission, their grade and how many students they want to tutor, what subjects they want to tutor, and then what grades they can tutor as well, and then any additional comments. And then whenever we get a tutor signing up, whoever the student lead is in the program, they will make sure to reach out to the tutor. They'll introduce themselves, make sure they know kind of what's going on and answer any questions. And they will also provide our new tutor handbook. So this is about a 3-page PDF document that is very much a living document. The more and more feedback we get, the more and more we add. And in this document, we just outline tutor expectations, how we schedule sessions, session tips. We talk about our feedback form. And we also have a section called difficult conversations and what to do. So in this section, we talk about how to handle a distracted kiddo, how to end a session. And then we have 2 sections that we hope to never ever have to use, but we do provide information on them just in case. And that is suicide ideation and abuse or neglect of a child if we notice that. So we talk about how to handle that type of situation, and we provide resources as well, because we don't want any tutor to ever have to handle that alone, and we don't want any tutor to be feeling uncomfortable in a session. The next thing that we have is what I mentioned earlier is our feedback form. So this is how we get feedback on our program, and parents love, love, love our program. They rave about it in the comments. They talk about it all the time. And this feedback form is where they choose to do that. So we asked for the parent name, the kid's name, the tutor's name, and then we have 4 basic questions, just asking how helpful the sessions were, how engaging they were, was the tutor friendly and respectful, and how likely they are to recommend the program. And then we have a spot for comments where we hear all about success stories and all about how much parents love the program. So a recent comment that we had was talking about how a kiddo had a goal to move up a math group, and the parent said that thanks to our tutoring, the kid was able to achieve that. So that was super, super exciting to hear. The next thing we have is what a parent sees. So this is that advertising that I think you were talking about. So we call this our brochure. This is what a parent will see. And more often than not, they see it in school newsletters. That's kind of where we target our advertising. So a lot of schools have those weekly newsletters they send out, and this is where you can find that. So what we do on our end of the program is I got together a group of kids in my club who wanted to help, just so I could kind of spread the work around a little bit. And we contacted mainly front office staff. So that was calling and emailing front office staff and finding out who wrote these school newsletters. And then once we found that out, we contacted them, and then they were able to work the program into the newsletters, and they were over the moon about the program. So a parent sees this, they get super excited, they love the program, they're like, oh my gosh, I need that right now. And they click that registration link in the middle, which will be unique to every club. And that will take them to another Google form where they will register their kid. So we ask for basic things like their name, their email address, their kid's name and grade, what school they go to, what subjects they need help in. We make sure they have access to internet, and they ask what their preferred video conferencing platform is. And then we ask for any additional information about the child's learning that we may need to accommodate. So whether this is something like ADHD or more specifics on a subject, anything like that. And then we have 3 understandings that we make sure everybody's on the same page about. And that is that they know that the tutors are high school students. We're not another teacher at home. We like to say we're like the parent at the dinner table. So we're sitting there helping you with homework, giving you that extra little help that you might need. And then they understand that they can withdraw their kiddo at any time from the program. And they understand that tutors can also end sessions at any time for inappropriate behavior. So that makes sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone has that baseline. And then we ask for any additional comments if they have them. So what we do with all of this Google form information is we put it into a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, I obviously couldn't put the whole spreadsheet here, but it is the home base for everything in this program. So there's 3 different pages on the spreadsheet. We have the tutor page, the student page, and the feedback page. The tutor page is where we put in that tutor sign up form information. So you see a sample entry up top there. We just have the name, grade, email, phone number. Then we have how many kiddos they're currently tutoring and what their maximum was that they said. And we do highlight in blue if they are not fully booked. And this is just to make it easier whenever we're trying to match students and tutors together to see who's available. And then we have which subjects they're comfortable with. We have green for I'm totally comfortable and yellow for I'm kind of comfortable. And then we have what grades they are comfortable tutoring, and then any additional comments. Here we see that they elaborated that they're comfortable with elementary level Spanish. Next is our student page that you see there in the middle, and we have marked whether or not they're an active student in the program. We have the parent name, email, the student name, grade, their school, and what platform they're going to use. And that contact column that you see there is basically the status of that student. So green means we've contacted the parent and the parent has responded, so there's communication. Yellow means we've sent an email and we're waiting to hear back. And blue means a follow-up email needs to be sent. This usually means that we haven't quite heard back from the parent yet, so we just need to send another one to try to reach that parent. And then we have marked what subjects they need help in, and then we have what tutor they're assigned. So how we assign a tutor is the student lead would look at this student page entry, and they would see they have a 4th grade kid who needs reading, writing, and Spanish help. So they would take that information and go to the tutor page at the top there, and they would first find an available tutor. So we'd see that Sam here is available, and we would look to see, can they do reading, writing, and Spanish? So we'd see Sam can do reading, writing, and some Spanish. We'd confirm there in the notes that they can do elementary level Spanish, which 4th grade, at least in our school district, counts as elementary. I think that's pretty standard. And then we would see that they can do 4th grade for all other subjects as well. So Sam can do reading, writing, and Spanish for 4th grade. So Sam would be a match for our kiddo max here. So that is how we match up a tutor. And what we do is, as a student lead, you reach out to Sam and we would send a message that just says, hey, we have a 4th grade kiddo who needs reading, writing, and Spanish help. Are you good to tutor? We like to confirm, make sure everything's comfortable still. And we almost always get a resounding yes, sign me up, I can't wait. And with that confirmation, we send an email to the parent and we will copy the tutor on that email. And as a student lead, we introduce ourselves, we introduce the tutor, we say we're super duper excited to get started. And then from that conversation, the tutor can start talking with the parent and scheduling. So this acts to connect the tutor with the parent, and it also acts to give the parent 2 points of contact, the tutor themselves and the student lead. So that way the parent always has 2 people that they're able to contact if needed. So that is how we will match a tutor to a student. And then on the bottom of your screen there, you see the feedback page. This is just where we keep track of all that information from the feedback form. So we see here we have the student name, the parent name, the tutor name, and then our feedback form is based on a 4-point scale. So we just kind of color coded those 4 points that they can kind of rank it as. And then we have a comment section. So that is the package that everybody gets, and that is how to use the resources and things like that.
Thank you, Walker. You have actually packaged this so that any Interact club anywhere could take this and work with it. Would you like to tell everybody what year in high school you are?
Of course, I am a junior. So this program began in August this past year, and now we're here. It's been very exciting to see it grow.
Okay, and one of the most exciting things about this, of course, to parents is this is totally free, isn't it?
It is. It is completely free for the parent, and in exchange for their time, tutors get volunteer hours. So this kind of acted to cover a lot of fronts that we saw needs in our community. So one of those was a lot of students have been struggling in online learning, but this has always been a need that's needed to be filled. So we've been helping support students through online learning with their studies. And we also saw a need for high school students to get volunteer hours, since a lot of graduation requirements haven't changed and a lot of colleges still really want to see those hours. So this is an awesome opportunity for them to get more involved. And like I said earlier, the more students you tutor, the more hours you get, but our tutors are averaging 1 to 3 hours a week, which has been really substantial for them.
Fantastic. Any other questions of Walker now that she shared her awesome program in greater length?
Put mine in the chat, but is it possible for us to get like a copy of these form templates and your PowerPoint? I know you said that we could have it. I just didn't know how to get it.
Yes, so it is a Google Drive folder that I can actually share with your email, and it'll show up in your shared with me section on your Drive. And so I will do that after the meeting. I'll go and copy down your email address information there.
Okay, thank you, Walker. Jen, yes.
No, I just wanted to be included in the email. Thank you.
Yes, me too. Include all of us, I think.
Yeah, are you going to be able to have kind of like a roll call list of emails for this breakout room session?
I don't know that I know how to do that, Walker. You may need to teach me.
If everyone who would like to have the folder shared with them could just put their email in the chat now, and then I'll go ahead and copy all of them down.
Thank you, Walker. You know, one of the things that I continually emphasize is the fact that we're developing leaders for Rotary, and we're not just talking about leaders tomorrow. These young people are just so phenomenal. They are leaders today in teaching us things we need to know, ideas and packages like this that they've developed. I'm going to switch over to Francisco. Cisco, you want to talk a little bit more about your program in depth? You kind of gave us a fire hose presentation there in the 5-minute snapshot. Tell us a little bit more about Volunteer Hero Program.
Art, I don't see him in the room. I don't know where he went.
I'm not sure. I don't see everybody here, so we may have missed him on this. Can you text him, Walker, and see where he went and see if he's going to be joining us?
I'm looking through the other breakout rooms, and I don't see his name anywhere.
Okay, we may have lost him. Okay, I will tell you this about his program. this program is designed to record the student volunteer hours, and it is the responsibility is upon the student to go in and log in their hours that they have contributed on a particular project, but then the advisor has to sign off on that to permit the credit for those hours. So the advisor will go in periodically, look at the entries that have been put in there for the volunteer hours, and then they will sign off on the ones that they can approve, document for this. And then out of this program, it's possible to create a transcript that can be utilized for applications for scholarships, for colleges and this kind of thing. And we actually have some of our high schools that have adopted this program to log hours for all of their different clubs, projects, and so forth. And in some cases, only an Interact has adopted this for their Interact club. So it's a very flexible program that can, again, it's packaged to be able to be utilized with the Interact clubs. Any questions? I'm sorry that Francisco is not on. I'm not sure how we lost him there, but any questions about the way his program works? Hopefully we can get him back on here. I'm not sure how we lost him, but I would like to talk just a little. Yes.
Just if we're interested in Francisco's program, how do we get in touch with him or get a hold of that, access that program?
Yes, his address, Francisco Biquel, his email address.
I can put it in the chat real quick.
Thank you, Walker. And you can contact him. I'm sure he'd be glad to share that.
Thanks.
In our district, I had mentioned that we are very much about three things. One is training leadership. One is introducing people through the experience of service above self. And then the third aspect is teaching Rotary's ethics of our four-way test. These are our three main things we sponsor in our program. We also, as I said, train leadership at three different levels. Club, which the clubs, of course, select their own leadership, but it's the function of the district with those who agree to serve at district leadership level to be able to help those clubs and to train those club leaders. As we said, we have a fall leadership conference, which is strictly for club officers and advisors to come together, and we provide training and tools for them with that conference. And then we have, as I noted, a district council, which consists of 32 members. We have the same structure mirroring with our Rotary district, our Interact district governor, our executive assistant governor, our district secretary, and then if we happen to have a past district governor, they also are on that executive team. We have three advisors. Ken Kelly, John Winterstein, and I serve as the advisors to the council that complete out that executive committee. The young people apply. There is an application form that we have a cutoff date, April 15th, for submitting that to apply for district leadership. And for that, they have to fill out this form. They have to provide a letter of recommendation, usually from their advisor to their Interact club, but it can be also from someone else. Sometimes we ask for both that, the advisor and then an additional one. We then have a scheduled interview with them online and grill them about their reason for wanting to become an assistant governor and a member of our council, and also about some of their experience. And then from those interviews and the applications and the recommendation letters, we select the members of our council. Sometimes we will not select someone for the council that year. We will suggest that maybe they need another year or two of experience with their clubs, because one of the things that we want to make certain that they know and that our clubs know is that when young people apply to serve at the district leadership level, this is not a substitute for club leadership. We expect them to be leaders in their own clubs as well. And then every one of them will be assigned 3 to 5 Interact clubs. It's their job to communicate with those clubs and to find ways to help to support those clubs and do problem solving and so forth. When they find a problem that they maybe don't know how to handle, we actually have 3 of our interactors that are team leaders, and we have them based out in geographical areas. We have an East Phoenix metro area, West Phoenix metro area, and then our outlying clubs. Each of those has a team leader. And then each of us as the advisors work with that team leader to help resolve any issues there. Sometimes one of the roles we play is that they're not getting the attention that they need from the advisors to get answers and help, or maybe they need to contact a Rotary Club president, and we can work with them in that. And so we select our team. As I said, the cutoff date for the applications is April 15th. By the first part of May, we have selected our council for the next year. And then we will have our annual Interact District Council retreat in July. As far as our international training program, we have been sending now for a number of years a Interact ambassadors team to Kenya. And we usually will have 6 to 8 members of that team. We had 6 selected for last summer, and we have actually added a couple of members to that team. We'll have an 8-member team going to Kenya. I believe we also have an 8-member team going to Central Mexico. In both of these countries, our district has our Rotary district has a long-standing partnership. We have trusted people there that are going to host our team. We send a group of trained Rotarian advisors along with the team to help there. But in that particular program, we have a cutoff date of December 1st for applications. And then by the 1st of January, we're doing our interviews online. And by the end of January, we have selected our team for the next summer. That team, once selected, they are announced at our Interact District Conference. For the first time, we keep it a deep, dark secret as to who the team members will be for the year. So it's a big deal when we introduce them at our district council, our district conference. And then they begin a 6-month training program before going to the field. And this program is an every other week online training program, 1.5-hour sessions. And we don't teach the curriculum. We have a curriculum for preparing them for their service internationally, but the young people actually research this and they teach each other. They become something of the expert in their particular assigned segment of the curriculum, and then they prepare their own PowerPoints and they present those, and they teach the rest of the team. We also when they come back, we do an exit interview to ask them, how did we do in preparing you for this particular experience that you had of international service? And so far, we're getting pretty good marks on that, of saying, yes, you taught us everything we needed to know, but also a lot beyond that. And if we hadn't known the extra, we couldn't have understood the conversations that were going on around us when we were in that country, and been able to enter into those conversations, understanding more about the culture, the politics, and religions, various things that need to prepare them to go and function there, and also understand more about our Rotary partners and Rotaract Interact partners in that country. So this is a program we've been running for, we've sent 4 teams so far, and it is a continuing learning experience. And This year, as I said, we're doubling our number of teams, sending to Central Mexico as well as to Kenya. And we're excited about it. Everything was shut down this last year. We couldn't send the teams. We couldn't even ship these devices. We have an amazing corporate sponsor, American Furniture Warehouse, which is probably one of the largest furniture dealers in Arizona, Colorado, actually receives from our clubs the drop-offs of this equipment. And they, in their large warehouse in Glendale, store this equipment for us and inventory it for us so that we know what we have to use to load the next containers that are going out to these different countries. So far, we've sent containers to Central Mexico, to Uganda, to Kenya, and Nigeria, I believe. And so this is an amazing program that we have. And as I said, this is our signature Interact District project, our Interact Crutches for Africa project. So any questions that any of you may have about our training program at the club leader district and international levels?
Who finances the international level travel?
Thank you. Great question there. We do a lot of fundraising for this. We're raising currently this year $35,000 for our program because we have to ship these containers, which is definitely not a cheap process of shipping expenses. But we also fund the airfare for our student team members. The adult advisors pay their own way, but we pay for the insurance for our team. We use the same insurance that we use for Rotary Youth Exchange, and this is considered really a short-term type exchange as far as insuring it. And so we pay for that. We also have some in-country expenses that we cover with the funds that we raise there. But primarily, the young people that participate understand that they are going to be contributing. We're asking them to contribute $750 toward the in-country expenses. They're responsible for covering the cost of their own passports, visas, their inoculations. And when it comes to Kenya, that can be a hefty tab for paying for their inoculations that are required. But as I said, we do cover the insurance for the team for both the advisors and the students. We do a lot of fundraising with our Rotary clubs and anybody we can find that's willing to contribute to this program. We believe it's a phenomenal, very unique program in all the world, and it's an exciting program we've developed. Other questions?
I just wanted to say how creative I think it is. I would have never thought of this need or how to fill it, and I think that's kind of cool.
Thank you, Walker. I had attended an institute up in Colorado some years ago, and they had an Interact element as part of that conference and or institute. And I met David Talbot, who is a polio survivor, and he is also a professional photographer. He had been doing filming of a special documentary in Uganda, I believe, some years ago, and he had noticed all these people crawling on the ground because they had no way, no access to any mobility equipment. And he thought, you know, I can do something about this. I've got to do something about it. He came back to his Rotary Club in Evergreen, Colorado, and told them what he wanted to do. And he organized then this Rotary nonprofit organization called Crutches for Africa. Well, I heard David speak and met him and became friends with him and said, David, you know, this sounds like something Interact ought to be involved in. And I said, would you be willing to let us develop a Interact program for Interact Crutches for Africa in Arizona? And would you come down and speak at our Interact District Conference and share what you're doing? And so initially, we did it as a trial program in one of our districts. We have expanded it and told anybody in Interact in Arizona they can participate in this. and we do have a southern district down in 5,500, and some of them have also loaded up trailer loads full of crutches and everything. And so this has become really a phenomenal program. We had a brand new Interact Club started this year at Basis High School or Basis School in Scottsdale. And this has become one of the key things that they have been doing. And they have collected just loads. They connected with a paralyzed veterans organization. And I tell you, we've got everything from crutches, walkers, canes, wheelchairs, even prosthetic legs and limbs that have been donated as part of this. And these are changing lives in these other countries. One of the pictures that I showed in my snapshot shot was a lady who had been crawling on the ground for over 40 years because she had been crippled as a child by polio. And our young people from Arizona were able to come and bring her a wheelchair. And she did not want to be lifted into that wheelchair. She would get up in that wheelchair herself. Once she was in that wheelchair, she took off like a rocket in that, and then came back. We didn't know what was going to happen, but she came back just smiling and thank you, thank you. We had given her the gift of mobility. And it's hard to imagine what that means in these countries. When these people are crawling on the ground, they're treated like dirt. They have no dignity. And to be able to have some teenagers in Arizona collect and ship, and then young people to go over and actually help present some of these things, fitting them to these devices. This is such a life-changing experience, and giving that person dignity. Now that they are up off the ground, they are looked at in a different way. And they can go to the market, they can go to the well and get their water. They can go, they've got mobility. And it's hard to imagine what that means. But the fact that we can do that as teenagers and change these lives around different parts of the world, this is something that any district can do. And we'd be glad to share this project with anyone. Any other comments or questions?
That's just so cool. No, it's just such a great thing what you're doing. That's amazing.
And I think all the clubs have something that would be worth inviting the youth to, possibly for international projects that each club in the districts takes on. So yeah, that's super interesting. I mean, yeah, that's what's so wonderful about sharing our Rotary projects, the international projects, and how many lives are changed. Yeah, awesome.
One of our aspirations as a Rotary Youth Services Task Force is, right now we have been working mainly with adult leadership. One of our aspirations is to have one of these conferences down the road where we can begin to connect the youth leadership, where they can all get on together and share these ideas and inspirational things. And so that's something we do hope to do. Any other comments or questions?
Art, okay, I'll go.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, how do you, how do the clubs pick the kids who go?
That's
I'm
a
sure
good
everybody
question.
wants to go.
That's a good question, because the clubs don't pick them. At the district and international levels, it has to be at the initiative of the individual. They have to be an interactor. They have to be an active member of an Interact club to be able to do this. And they apply, as I said, they have to have several letters of reference. We do the online interview with them, and then we select from those who apply, those that are going to be a member of the team that year. And they have to understand that this is going to be a major commitment on their part, because there's 6 months of training that they have to agree to. and all the other things that are a part of this commitment. But I can tell you that if they apply and they are selected and they go on this kind of an experience, this is a life transforming experience. And I can tell you that many of them come back and they change the direction of their lives. Many of them change the direction of what they plan to major in college. And they, what they're going to be able to accomplish with their lives are just phenomenal. One of our young people came back, and he is currently at the University of Arizona preparing to be able to be second chair to David Talbot with Crutches for Africa for the Rotary organization. And when David can't do it anymore, to take over as the administrator of that organization. We have another just phenomenal young lady who is had gone to Kenya planning to be an animal epidemiologist, studying diseases and viruses and so forth with animals. She came back, changed her major, and she just graduated from the Northern Arizona University in human epidemiology. She's now moving on to her master's degree and toward her doctorate in that area. And she will be a phenomenal resource to millions of people worldwide eventually in this program. Just amazing stories of what these young people go on to do. But again, they elect to do this, and unless they volunteer and apply and are committed to doing this, we don't feel are fit to serve at the international level, because this does require a lot of major commitment. Other questions?
Art, I have a question about materials. Have you put together materials about your Crutches for Africa program that I could present to our district here in Sacramento?
Absolutely. If you will email me, arthts@msn.com, I'll be glad to send you our flyers of stuff that we prepared about that program and answer any questions you may have about it.
Great.
As I said, this is, like Walker's and Francisco's programs, these are totally transportable to any district that wants to do this kind of thing. And the thing that I like about this, and it said, is it's become our signature project. And we do a lot of other things. We create WAPIs, water purification indicator devices. We have clubs do this thing. We have the Purple Pinky to raise the funds for the vaccines for polio, and all these different things that are international projects we also encourage our clubs to be involved in. But this is a project, the collecting of the crutches and these other mobility devices, that any club, even if there are half a dozen members, can do this. And so they can do it immediately. It doesn't take a whole lot of planning. It takes no funding or to be able, you don't have to buy some supplies or do anything for it. It's just raising awareness of what the needs are and what they can do to meet those needs. Any other questions or comments? I want to talk a little bit about the district leadership level of our leadership training. As I said, they can apply to serve on our district council. And again, this does involve quite a commitment. They understand they're going to be working with 3 to 5 other Interact clubs to help support them. And I can tell you that in the past, here in Arizona, when I first came back I was at the zone leadership level and international levels, I saw that the greatest need in Rotary was to come back and begin connecting the dots at the youth programs level, because we did not have our programs interfacing with each other and supporting each other. And we weren't really utilizing our potential with our young people, because I am committed to the fact that our young people are the hope of Rotary today as well as tomorrow. And so we are continually saying to our Rotary people in our district, look, these are today's leaders and they have so much to offer. One of the things that we do is that our district governor for Interact, just like our Rotary governor, in our weekly, or I'm sorry, our monthly newsletter that gets mailed out from the district to every Rotary member in the district. We have a governor's column for the district governor for Rotary. We also have a governor's column for the Interact district governor that helps let them know what's happening in these 80 plus clubs out here. The exciting things that we're doing with our Ambassadors to Kenya program and our Crutches for Africa program and all. And so I don't know of any other districts that have a column by the Interact district governor to help raise awareness there. But we also, we have needs in our district. For example, most of you are aware that we have added a new focus of for our Rotary Foundation. We had 6 areas of focus. We now have 7, and the latest one is supporting the environment. And so we did not have yet a committee on that at the district level. I was aware that one of our Interact AGs, our assistant governors, who's actually also an area team leader, had taken the initiative, and she'd become a member of the Rotary Action Group on the environment. In fact, she's been appointed as one of the teen international ambassadors for that. And so as our district governor was looking for somebody to head up this district Rotary committee, I said, why not Chloe? And the governor said, fantastic, she would be great to do this. So Chloe Lyons, an interactor, now for the first time in our over 100-year history as a Rotary in Arizona, is the first interactor who's chairing a Rotary district committee. And they can do it. And she's doing a phenomenal job of this. And so I really, again, am trying to raise awareness of our Rotary members that these young people have so much, as you can see from Walker here and what she's developed in her area there. These young people can do. And so we need to be continually calling on them to use their skills to solve some of the problems we have for Rotary today. I believe this is the answer for Rotary going forward. These are our farm teams down here in Interact and Rotaract, and we need to be bringing them up. And when we got stars down there like Walker, let's put them to work in Rotary already. They're already a part of the Rotary family.
Yeah, just to comment on that, you know, at RILA just a couple of weeks ago, we witnessed that something that would take an adult probably about a month to put together. These kids did in a day and a half, and the presentations are, it's just easy for them. I give you guys so much credit, you students, is that what we think we're doing, you guys already know and do it 1,000 times better. So we look forward. We know our future is bright. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a tough thing for us to have to go to virtual this year. Our Interact District Conference is such an exciting, dynamic time. One of the things that we do at our Interact Conference is that we have one of the breakout sessions is they actually get hands-on experience of wrapping, sorting and wrapping those crutches and walkers and so forth to be able to ship them part of the next load and everything. We couldn't do that this year. You can't do things like that virtually. But one of the things that we did was to bring 3 of our, what I consider our star clubs this year that have just been knocking the ball out of the park in spite of the pandemic. And we had those 3 clubs present to the rest of the conference, talking about what they had done. They had a 15-minute presentation, each of them. And I tell you, talk about awesome. This would inspire any Rotary club to see the ways they have adapted, the principles they have adopted, just amazing. And the word got around about this from one of the clubs in their town, and they were featured on a radio program in the town about the amazing things that they're doing in their community and all. And so we need to promote these things. And we see these clubs doing these things. You know, we talk about developing our public image in Rotary. Man, this is our front page. Everybody in the community wants to know about this. A couple of years ago, when we had our youngest member of our team that we were sending to Kenya, was just completed her freshman year, and she was selected to be a member of our Kenya team. Well, she wants to become, among other things, a writer. And so she wrote a blog about what was happening with the team in Kenya. Let me tell you, that was sent by email to the local newspaper for that region, actually, a tri-state region over, she lives in Bullhead City. So it was Arizona, California, Nevada. And that was run first front page on the paper for every day that the team was in Africa. Now, how many Rotary clubs are getting that kind of front page coverage in their local media? I swear, this is our best front, first foot forward that we have, because everybody is really excited and interested to know about what these kids are doing. And so I encourage you to, have your Rotary clubs look at what can you feature about what our clubs that we're sponsoring are actually accomplishing out there. And you'll find that you'll get more attention for your Rotary club and what Rotary is about than anything else you can put out there or say. Those pictures of some, presenting a check to somebody just don't cut it compared to this kind of exciting stuff. Anybody else? Walker, would you like to come back on and tell us just a little bit about what you hope to do in the future? What is your future plans, your profession, and so forth, and where you think you'll be going to school once you graduate from high school there in Eugene?
So as a future career, I hope to be an aerospace engineer, which is very unrelated to a tutoring program. But I have always been super passionate about mentorship, especially for girls who want to go into STEM. So I feel like that kind of ties it all in together there. In regards to where I want to go to college, I have a list. I haven't applied anywhere or anything yet. I'm still a few months out from that, which is exciting. But I mean, Art, you'll know, Arizona State is on my list, one of the top schools. I would say my top three are probably Arizona State University in Phoenix there, or in the Tempe area, Virginia Tech University in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Georgia Tech University, or Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta, Georgia. So those are kind of my top three schools there. But I do hope to stay. Not even hope, I completely plan to stay involved with Rotary as I get older as well.
Okay. Anybody else want to make any final comments? We have a few more minutes before we, actually, I think our session ends in just a couple minutes. So any other comments or questions anybody wants to get on the floor here before we end this elective?
Art, what I'll say is just be your color man here. I'm co-chairing our 5080 Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. And in the Kootenay Rockies of British Columbia, we're relaunching Interact. And this is actually, to me, two things that are at least as important as being a president of a Rotary Club. This is where our future comes to, whether they become Rotary members or not. This makes our world a better place.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Just following that subject real quick. I know in 5500 that we're creating a green club, a green focused club. And as the new Interact chair, I really want to get them involved with Interact too. And we've also got a new community Interact club in Tucson. And so hooking those two up together, I think we can really make some headway, because the kids are obviously concerned about that subject. And I think we can accomplish a lot working together. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I want to thank all of you for joining us during this elective, and you'll have a chance to select another elective in a few minutes to go into that for the second breakout period. There'll be about a 5-minute break while everybody selects their